in Bonn, Germany for the penultimate day of the 2019 European Baseball Championships. My name is Kai Dombach, and sitting alongside me is Ole Tengen Jr. Very nice to have you along, sir.
Good morning, Kai, and all our listeners out there. It's a beautiful sunny morning here in Bonn, Germany.
Yeah, very rare to have a day this beautiful, especially in this time of year, as you get to see us. I'm in the Orioles hat. Hello, everybody. And Ole is in the Bonn Capitals hat, the Capitals home field right here. So it's a few minutes before 11 in the morning here in Bonn, Germany. We're about to get the first game of the day underway. And you're tuned in to see Germany versus France. Both these teams made it to the quarterfinals yesterday, but did not win. France losing to Israel in the first quarterfinal 8-2, and Germany losing a heartbreaker to Italy in the final quarterfinal last night. The two-run home run in the bottom of the ninth gave Italy their spot in the semifinals over Germany, but there is still plenty to play for both Germany and France. They are vying for that fifth and final qualifying spot for next week's Olympic qualifying tournament against African teams. That will be in Italy in just a few days after this tournament comes to an end tomorrow. So it's definitely a lot to play for. Can't just sit around, can't just moan and groan about how they shoulda, coulda, woulda won the quarterfinals game that these two teams were in last night. Got to keep going, got to play again. Germany coming in on barely just 12 hours rest. But they have to put that quarterfinal loss behind them. Still have a shot, still have a chance to make things happen. But they have to win today. So does France, and they will have to win against the winner of Czech Republic and Belgium. That other classification game going on Field 2 here in Bonn, right next door, just beyond the first base line. Take a look at some of the French players. They will be coming out in white shirts, white pants, and that lovely dark blue hat. And taking a look at Germany, they're going to be coming out in the black jerseys, black hats, and white pants.
Yeah, it was a really tough game for the Germans last night. I was commentating that game, and they really came out strong, scoring 4 in the first, and then they had a solo home run in the third. So they really came out swinging the bats, and then failed to score. They were up 5-0 for the first few innings, but failed to find any more magic at the plate for the rest of the game, especially in the top of the ninth. They had a runner on, and then I think every single one of the well, let's look at the umpires here. We got the umpires in the picture. We got behind home plate, we got Jiří Kroupa from the Czech Republic. First base, we have Edwin Luisa from the Netherlands, and the third base umpire is Winfried Bergwins from the Netherlands.
So these two teams look like they're about to come out to the first and third base lines respectively to get introduced to the crowd and get ready for the national anthems for both Germany and France. Take a look at some of the fans who came in early in this morning. Very nice to see some more fans here, especially for this early game. Of course, people, when we think of baseball, we like to think of it as more of an afternoon, evening kind of game, but with a tournament this large with 12 teams all having to play against one another, you got to have a full schedule from beginning to end, having 12 hours of baseball every single day, except for one day, excuse me. It's basically been 12 hours every single day since last Saturday. So a lot of baseball, a lot of fun that we've had here in Bonn, but it is coming to a close, but things are just continuing to heat up as we will determine the final spots and the final standings for all the teams by the end of this weekend.
Yeah, it's just a beautiful day for baseball. This is fall baseball here. We have a nice temperature here, sunny skies. It's been quite a contrast to last weekend where it was raining and cold. Absolutely not baseball weather, but it should be getting up to 23 degrees today. Sunny skies. I don't even see a cloud. So perfect day, perfect, excuse me, perfect day for baseball here in Bonn today.
Take a look inside that German dugout. Nice to see that they're looking loose, looking a bit more relaxed. Looks like they have gotten over what happened last night.
Well, Coach Steve Jansen said their goal was to finish in the top 5. The win last night would have made it, would have set that, but the loss means they have to keep fighting. So they'll play today, and then the winner of Belgium and Czech against the winner. Whoever wins today will play against the winner of Czech Republic and Belgium tomorrow for that coveted 5th spot. And they'll join that tournament in Italy, and the 6th team in that tournament will be South Africa, who won the African Championship a few months ago.
Well, and Germany, they have finished in the top 5 in each of the last 5 European Championships. A few years ago in 2016, they finished 4th. They can't do that this time, but in 2014, they finished 5th. In 2012, it was 4th. And 2010, they got the bronze medal. Once again, unfortunately for them, they can't make it this time, can't make it to the medal rounds. But they know what it takes to get at least 5th, and there is still a chance for them to qualify for that coveted Olympic spot. They just have to win here, and they have to win tomorrow. Still a chance. Still lots of time, plenty of opportunities. And let's take a look. Still no action out there on the field as of yet. Just awaiting the starting lineups to come out. I mean, we have the starting lineups right in front of us, but we're just waiting for them to announce them to the crowd.
Yeah, we're sitting on top of the French dugout here along the third base side, and they also look quite relaxed, a lot of smiles, a lot of laughing. But they're really, you can see through that, they're really focusing on the game. I think the Germans are as well. Both are going to hopefully try to come out aggressive, and let's see how the day goes. And for the Olympic qualifying, there will only be 6 teams playing in the Olympics. So from the from the African and Europe region, there is only one spot, as I understand it, that will be making the trip to Tokyo.
Only one team to represent 2 continents. Pretty difficult, tall task to get that one spot, even if you already made it to the semifinals. Let's take a look at who also made it to the semifinals. We got a lot of baseball coming up for you all today. Of course, thank you for tuning in to the early game. We're more than happy to have you along. So in the semifinals later today, in fact, right after this game finishes up, it will be the Netherlands versus Spain. Netherlands has finished no worse than second in every single European championship that they have competed in. And after the Netherlands versus Spain, it will be Israel versus Italy. Israel, a lot of people consider them to be the dark horse, and they have proven themselves to fit that role quite well, having already qualified for next week's Olympic qualification tournament, which will be hosted by their opponents, Team Italy. Not exactly sure what the delay is.
Well, I think because we have 2 games going parallel here, they're going to have to stagger a bit the start in terms of the national anthems and whatnot. But looks like we have some movement at home plate.
I think you're right. As finally the German manager comes out to talk with the umpires, shakes the hands. And the French French coach comes out for the managers meeting, which is taking place at home plate right now.
Good. Yep. Yep. How you doing?
Well,
Not sure if the microphones are picking up what the French players are saying, as the German manager giving the French manager the pennant of German baseball.
thank you.
And all the umpires getting the starting lineups now
The H and 3 hole.
so that everybody knows who's going where when we finally take the field in just a few minutes, hopefully.
No anthems, no introduce. We can start exactly now.
Well, the French team is also hoping
Same
to get
field,
that
same
spot.
rules.
They've finished in the
better.
5th spot in
They
2007, but finished 7th in 2016. So as we are above the one of the dugouts here, we do get to hear choice words sometimes, and positive and negative in a foreign language. I don't speak French, but we got a little schooled on Italian last night, and we'll learn some French words, choice French words today as well.
That was Coach Jason Stanford who was getting at his players saying, come on, let's go, and a few other words that maybe, hopefully, the microphone did not pick up. They were in English, but if you did, sorry, just know we didn't say it. Now let's take a look at the starting lineup for Germany, as it looks like we're not going to get the national anthems. So for Germany, they come up to bats. They are the designated away team in this game. We got Philippe Schultz, then Simon Göring, Donald Lutz, and Maximilian Bolt, who is batting in cleanup. Pascal Allman batting 5th. Eric Brenk, Marco Cardozo, Alexandra Smits, and Kevin Kotowski will be the starting batting order for Team Germany. Enoble Marquez will be the pitcher, so we will not see him until the bottom of the first inning. As the French team takes to the field, let's see who is where for Team France. So we got Andy Paz, the catcher. Then we got Leo Cespedes, the pitcher, on the mound going through his warm-up. And we got Maelzan at first, Brown at second, Lefevre at shortstop, Patrice at third base, Boucheron in left, Paula in center, and Dagnot in right. So Cespedes started one game, went 6 innings, giving up 4 hits, walking 3, striking out 2. Batters hitting .211 off of him. But Cespedes got a no decision in his one appearance. Some of the German fans showing their support even after that tough loss. Got to give it up for them.
Yeah, they've had great support all week from the local fans. Some traveling from quite far away to come and watch the tournament. It's been a lot of fun with the fans here all week. Even with the bad weather, they were still there through the rain last weekend and all the delays. I think the first game, German game, didn't end till about midnight. Still had a full crowd. So it's been a lot of fun for the fans and for the players.
It actually ended well past midnight, about 12:30. But hey, they'll take the win. Win is a win is a win. That was a victory over Sweden, 9-1. As Cespedes steps on the rubber, Schultz takes his spot in the batter's box. Right-handed pitcher, left-handed batter, And the first offering from Cespedes is inside for ball one, and we are underway in Bonn. Schultz hitting .364 coming into today. Played in 4 games, 4 hits and 11 at-bats. As there's a quick discussion between home plate umpire and one of the German coaches. Come on, guys, let's just get this game going.
Not sure what that discussion was about. They pointed, I think, towards the outfield, but it's play ball.
I mean, no need to worry about a batter's eye. There's no stands out there in center. No need to worry about any fans wearing those white shirts, which could potentially limit the view of the baseball. Just that scoreboard out there, that's been hit 1 or 2 times in this tournament. 1-1 pitch, and Schultz does not swing at it. Count now 2 balls and 1 strike on the German left fielder. Cespedes gets the sign. Here comes the 2-1 pitch, and that misses low. Count now 3 balls and 1 strike. Germany started this tournament well. They won their first 2 games, and then things have just fallen off. They lost to Israel in 10 innings, 4-2, losing to the Netherlands 8-1, losing to the Czech Republic 10-6, but they did still qualify for the quarterfinals. Going up against Italy, they did put up that big lead to start off as Schultz, his ground ball squirts past Brown at second and goes all the way to right field, and Schultz is on first. Good start for Team Germany.
Yeah, this is how they started off yesterday, aggressive at the plate. Let's see if they're going to try to repeat that performance last night and get some runs in the first inning.
Take a look at the replay. That was a outside fastball, and Brown, he had his glove in the right area, but it just booted right past him. We await the official score, and Schultz is singled. Did not reach on an error. That was a bit too fast for Brown. And Göring pops up the first pitch. That goes to foul territory. And the catcher, Andy Paz, takes care of that. First man out in this game. Going right after that low fastball. And then once Göring realized he was foul, just watched it go right into Paz's glove. And just knew, well, that was a very quick at-bat. So now that brings up the designated hitter, Donald Lutz. He is hitting .174, has appeared in every German game. 4 hits in 23 at-bats, 1 of them a double, has driven home 5 runs. Lutz has also walked twice and struck out 7 times as they check over to first. And Schultz is back in.
Well, he's also got 5 RBIs. He had a towering double off the fence in the first inning. If I remember, that was the first inning yesterday. So he's got a lot of power.
Cespedes is 1-0, misses low. Double the count now, 2 balls and no strikes on number 50. As Lutz gets back into the box. Germany has a team hitting .264 as Lutz takes a called strike 1 at the knees. Germany hitting 4 home runs, getting 76 total bases, slugging .378. but they've been striking out at a pretty decent clip, striking out 48 times. It's the throw over to first, and he got him. Schultz is picked off at first. Cespedes with the great throw. And Schultz was just so close to first, but that was just a fantastic throw, and Schultz, he leaned over to second before going back to first, and that's what proved to be the difference. So now 2 men down for Germany.
That's a play that's happened a few times against the Germans this week. Once against Eric Brenk. Had too much of a lead, was thrown up by the catcher at first. Heads up play by the French there.
2-1 pitch, and that's raked to right, and that's going to fall for a 1-bounce single. That was right in front of Dagnot, who knew that he had no chance to catch that ball. So a runner on first for Germany with 2 men down, and here comes Max Bolt to the plate.
And Bolt hitting 286 for the tournament in the cleanup spot. Let's see if he can get something going here with 2 outs for the Germans.
So Lutz is at first. Bolt at the plate. Takes a called strike 1 on the outside corner. So Cespedes keeping calm. That leadoff single so far proving futile, as some Austrian fans and some Austrian team members sit behind home plate. Take another look at that. There was a Bolt cutout that he could probably see in his peripheral vision right by first base. 0-2 pitch, and that's fouled back into the screen. We'll do it again. Bolt gets the signs from the coach at third base, then gets back into the box. Interesting stance, leaning over home plate. Catcher Andy Paz setting up outside, and that's lined into center, and that falls for another single. So Lutz moves over to second base, and Bolt will take his spot at first. Germany in business in the top of the first. Take another look at that. Cespedes was 1 strike away from ending the inning. That curveball did not fall off the table very well, and Bolt saw it. He knew it wasn't going to fall, and Bolt just smacked that one.
Nice easy swing there with 2 strikes by Bolt. Not swinging for the fences, just going for the base hit, and that's exactly what he got.
2 out, 2 men on for Pascal Allman, who swings through the first strike. Allman played in all 6 games for Germany. Comes up to the plate hitting .333. 8 hits in 24 at-bats. Has also driven in 6 runs. 0-1 pitch. Outside throw over to second. And Lutz is back in safely. But Paz with the good throw and the good idea to keep Lutz in check.
Allman had a nice solo home run yesterday over the right field fence. Has 3 home runs so far in the tournament, so he has some power.
1-1 pitch to Allman, and that's taken high. 2-1 the count now on the right fielder, as he takes his spot back in the box. And you see Lutz taking a few steps off of second. Cespedes checks back on him and delivers the 2-1 to the plate, and that's taken very high in the air. But the first baseman gets underneath of that in foul territory, so the Germans put 2 men on but can't bring either one of them home. We go to the bottom of the first inning, and no runs for Team Germany. Let's see if France can put something on the board. So as we go to the bottom of the first inning, let's see the French batting order, starting with Felix Brown. Then we got Maxime Lefevre, who was there at short at the top of the inning. Then the catcher Andy Paz. Then we got Frédéric Envie, Bastien Dagnot, José Paul, Jacques Boucheron, Maëlzon, and Daniel Patrice. Those are batters 1 through 9, all in order. Leo Cespedes with the quick inning. And now let's see Team Germany. Starting off with Enoble Marquez, who is on the bump for Germany to get this game started. Then we got Göring, the catcher, Bolt at first, Cardozo at second, Schmidt at shortstop, Brink holding the line at third base. Then Schultz in left, Kotowski in center, and Allman in right. Member of Team Austria right there. Red shirt, red hat. Good looking A. Makes me think of the Atlanta Braves hat.
Yeah, I keep seeing those hats and have to remind myself that's the Austrian team.
So that's Enoble Marquez, the left-handed hurler. Marquez with a 1.80 ERA. Started a game and went 5 innings, giving up 2 hits, 1 earned run, walked 4, and struck out 2. But batters having a very difficult time against him. They're only hitting 125. So tough stuff. Let's see what Felix Brown can do. He's going to be the leadoff man for Team France as Germany finishes up their last throw rounds, and Marquez delivers his last warm-up pitch. So here comes Felix Brown, who gives a ball to the umpire. Brown, the right-handed batter, coming in hitting 200. 5 hits and 25 at-bats. But he has some speed on him. Did hit a triple. Brought in 2 runs. And Brown takes a called strike 1. So even though Germany is designated the away team in this game, they are the host nation. So you'll hear a lot more of the quote-unquote away fans cheering when the away team does something good, even though it is their home. I know that sounds really confusing, but it makes sense. Trust me. 1 ball, 1 strike on Felix Brown. And he takes a strike 2 at the knees. 1-2 the count now on the French second baseman. So Brown gets back into the box. And here comes the 1-2, and that's taken inside. Could not get that call. So Brown is ready for the 2-2, and that's grounded foul right by Eric Brink at third base.
Well, one thing you won't be hearing, because we have parallel games going on here, is any music or announcing, because the fields are right next to each other and you don't want to disturb the other team. So no music, no announcing during these games.
2-2 pitch, and Brown stays alive, getting a piece of that. Looks like it went off his foot, so he needs to walk it off.
Yeah, it went off his back foot. No padding down there, which has been favored by a lot of the MLB players. We've been seeing a little bit of that this week.
2 balls, 2 strikes, and Brown gets one, and that's fair. But Brink was right there. Throw over to first. And it took a little while, but Germany finally gets their first out on Team France. Brown really made Marquez work for that first out. That outside fastball picked up by Brink. Just a very routine play. So now that brings up Maxime Lefevre, the shortstop. Was not called upon too often in the field, and he got hit by that one. Took that one off the left tricep. So he'll take his base on 1 pitch.
Yeah, Lefevre was hitting 450. So with 20 plate appearance. So he's been consistently getting a bat on the ball this week. That time the ball was the ball to body, so he gets a free trip to first base.
Before that pitch hit him, his on-base percentage was .593, so now it's above 600. So now Andy Paz, the catcher, with a man on first. Paz up to the plate. And the catcher Goering trying to hold that first pitch in place. Thought that could have been a strike one. The fans watching this game with their hearts, not their eyes. 1-0 pitch, and that's high, and Goering thought about throwing over to first, but Lefevre was back in time. Lefevre, not really a threat to steal, has not attempted any steals in this past week. 2-0 pitch, and that's drilled to left. That's going very deep. But the center fielder catches it right on top of the left fielder Schultz. And Lefevre was running over to second. He'll have to go back to first, as that was a bit of a miscue. Could have been very troubling, but Kotowski held on to that ball. And that's a very interesting second out.
Well, it looks like Schultz pulled up at the last minute, and that probably saved them from a pretty bad collision. You can see that here. Usually in the outfield, if it's between the center fielder and the left fielder, the center fielder is usually the one who takes precedent, as you say. But they ended up with the out.
That's the most important thing. If you're on defense, just get those outs. Get those outs any way you can. Just hope you don't injure someone in the process. So now Fred Envie, the designated hitter, takes a swipe at that pitch. But a swipe is all he gets. So he's now behind no balls and 1 strike. There he is. The right-hander. Dagno warming up behind him. He's in the on-deck circle. Lefevre. Now he's going to run over to second. That's the first time that he's done that in this tournament, and he's called out. Pickoff attempt at first, and then the throw over to second. And Lefevre goes down on the attempted steal, so Envie will come back up when we go to the bottom of the second. But through 1 inning, it's France 0, Germany 0. You're listening to the 2019 European Baseball Championships on baseballsoftball.tv and Playo.tv.
Abgelenkt und genervt von trockenen, juckenden Augen? Nicht mit Purpursan, den innovativen Kapseln zur oralen Einnahme. Sei voll da, wenn's drauf ankommt. Erhältlich in Apotheken und unter shop.sanoctua.com.
To the second inning we go. France nothing, Germany nothing. First classification game for both of these sides. Both losing their respective quarterfinal games yesterday. And the first pitch from Cespedes to get this second inning underway is called strike one. Germany sending up their 6, 7, and 8 hitters. And Eric Brenk takes one off the left arm, the upper arm. So he's on base after 2 pitches.
Yeah, Brenk's been struggling at the plate, but has been getting hit. He got hit in last night's game as well. But good start for the German team, as they have their first man on the base.
Cespedes faking over to keep Brenk at first. Don't want to be the second pickoff victim. The leadoff man in the previous inning for Germany, Philippe Schultz, was picked off at first from a great throw from Cespedes. And now Marco Cardozo comes up for Germany, taking strike one.
Cardozo hitting .500, so it's been a consistent at the plate here for Germany.
12 hits and 24 at-bats. The only man in the starting lineup for Germany with double-digit hits. And he wants some more, going after that outside pitch for strike two. Count now, no balls and 2 strikes. On the second baseman. Brenk at first, nobody out, top of the second. 0-2 pitch on the way, and Cardozo just gets a piece. Staying alive in the at-bats.
Nice defensive swing on that outside ball, managing to get a piece of it. Stay alive here.
Count still no balls and 2 strikes after that foul ball. Brenk looking for his chance, his opportunity to move forward. 0-2 pitch. That's outside throw over to first, and Brenk is safe.
Yeah, he's been caught once this week with that move, which I'm sure the French are aware of, so keeping him honest there at first base.
Cannot get too aggressive against Cespedes. As we saw earlier in this game. 1-2 count, and Cardozo dribbles that to short. Throw over to second, in time for 1. Throw to first, and that squirts past the first baseman. And trickles all the way into the dugout.
So that'll be an automatic extra base hit, or extra base, sorry, for Cardozo, as the ball went out of play into the dugout.
Take another look at that. That was just a very slow ground ball. Lefevre threw it over to Brown. Brown's throw was on target, but Zahn at first could not come up with the throw.
Bit of luck there for Germany with one out. The runner gets to advance, and now they have a runner, no one on first base, so no double play, no chance for double play.
So now Alexandra Smits, the German shortstop, up to the dish. Umpire calling time as Cespedes just goes through his motion and throws it home. Guess Germany's number 6 needed a couple extra seconds to get ready.
Looked like he wanted another ball too.
So Schmidt is ready for the first pitch in the at-bat as Cespedes checks back at second. The throw to the plate is outside for ball 1. One ball and no strikes on Schmidt. As Cespedes checking back again. The throw to the plate is called a ball. 2 balls and no strikes. Runner at second, 1 out. And Schmidt looking to bring him home. Just needs to get this ball out of the infield. 2-0 pitch. And that is called a strike. That looked outside to me. But Cespedes gets the call. Count now 2 balls and 1 strike. German fans showing their support. Waving some signs behind Schmidt, and he fouls it right back into the stands. Back to almost into the other field. Two balls, 2 strikes on Alexandra Smits. Hitting 143 in the tournament. Has appeared in every game for Germany. Paz sets up a little bit outside, and that's hit over to right field, and that falls for a single. The third base coach saying, hang on, as Cardozo was thinking about coming home, but then was held up at third by the coach, and good thing too, that was a nice throw from Dagnot in right.
And a nice line drive there. Nice hit to advance the runner, but not deep enough or in the hole to bring in the runner from second, unfortunately, for the German team.
Reason I got those mixed up was because Eric Brank wears number 30, Cardozo wears number 3. So my apologies. I do know my numbers, usually. So runners at the corners for Germany, as the pickoff attempt at first is unsuccessful.
Cardozo
was
to see if they're going to try to steal here. There were only 2 steals in the game last night, or 1 actually, and the batter was ruled out on obstruction.
So now that's Kevin Kotowski, the last man in the order for Germany. Takes a strike 1 at the knees. So now this time, if Kotowski can get a ball out of the infield, that should bring home a run. But for now, 0-1 the count on Kotowski. Pickoff attempt at first. And Schmidt is back in time.
Cespedes has a really quick move to first, has already got 1 today.
He would love to get 2. Keeps looking over at first. Can't really do very much with the guy at third. 0-1 pitch into the dirt, and that's going to go behind home plate. So Cardozo will stay at third, but Schmidt moves over to second. So now 2 runners in scoring position for Germany and Kevin Kotowski.
Yeah, this is the times in the game where the German bats have to come alive with men in scoring position. They've failed to do that a few times this week. But with against a strong French team, this is when they got to get some hits.
1-1 pitch. The curveball looked good on the inside part of the zone, but the umpire, Krupa, is saying that was just too far inside. So instead of a 1-2 count, it's a 2-1 count. Right-handed pitcher, left-handed batter. Germany with 4 hits. Let's see if they can make something work here. 2-1. That is called a strike. And the French dugout right in front of us saying thank you. So now the count on Kotowski at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Check over at third. Now the throw home, and that's fouled right off his foot. So we'll keep the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. A few fans sitting out there in the left field seats. This is the home of the Bonn Capitals. Held the Bundesliga finals here for the past 3 years, and Kotowski goes down swinging at the upstairs pitch. That high heat blew right past him.
Yeah, that's a tough pitch to lay off of with 2 strikes.
Take another look. That was just above the lettering, and Kotowski knew that he just could not catch up to that pitch. Showing some frustration with himself as he walked back to the dugout. So Germany back to the top of the order. Schultz singled in the previous inning. Another single here would drive home at least 1, likely 2. And showed the bunt, but then pulled it back. As that curveball dropped too far. One ball, no strikes on Schultz, who after that previous single is now hitting .417 in the tournament. No pitch going very high. Paz had to really get up from his stance to keep a run from crossing the plate.
There's a lot of space behind the home plate, so a pass ball would most definitely, or almost definitely, mean a run for the Germans.
Daniel Patrice at third, playing close. Just a step away from the infield grass on the left field side. And the inside pitch, count now 3 balls and no strikes. It would almost be favorable, actually, for Cespedes to throw another ball to Schultz so that he could have the bases loaded and have a play at every base. 3-0 pitch, and that's right down the middle. So the count goes to 3-1. No 4-pitch walk here.
Well, this is the hitter's count here for Schultz, who's a switch hitter.
Three-one pitch, and that is taken below the knees, so the bases are juiced for Team Germany in the top of the second with 2 men gone. So Cardozo at third, Schmidt at second, and Schultz at first. And now Simon Göring, who popped out to the catcher last time up. Up to the plate. Germany left 2 men on base in the previous inning. It'd be even worse if they leave 3 on base, as the first pitch misses the zone, and the French dugout showing their frustration with the umpire's strike zone. Take another look at that. That was possibly a hair inside. Just possibly. But I have to agree with the French dugout. It's a very, very small strike zone, as the umpire calls the 1-0 pitch a strike. 1-1 on the outside corner. Bases loaded, 2 men gone in the top of the second. Germany looking to get the first runs on the board off of Göring's bat. Cespedes delivers the 1-1, and that is fouled.
So Göring plays for the Heidenheim Heidekopfer, the German who won the German baseball championship, Bundesliga championship this year against Bonn.
Happened right here at this field.
Zunki.
So count now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Göring takes a few extra swings, practice swings outside the box. Officially, he's number 16, but he's wearing number 14 today. One-two pitch to Göring. It misses outside. Triple twos now, 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs on the catcher, who popped out to the French catcher. Catcher to catcher. Cardozo took a few extra steps off third, trying to get into Cespedes' head. You could hear those steps. Still no runs in this game, but Germany is threatening. Bases loaded, 2 men gone, 2 balls, 2 strikes to Göring. Here comes the 2-2, and Göring fouls it to the right side. So the count stays at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Göring's got 2 RBIs already this tournament. Let's see if he can add to it here. Base hit, with a good base hit, would bring in 2 for the German team.
Another 2-2 pitch on the way, and that is taken low. So the count is now full, 3 balls, 2 strikes on Göring. Everybody going to run on this pitch. Time to do some wind sprints. Excuse me. Thought I could get the button in time before that sneeze, but I did not. 3-2 pitch, runners go, and that's grounded. Fair down the left field line, just a hair fair, but fair is fair is fair. 1 run comes across the plate, 2 runs come across the plate, and 3 runs come across the plate as Schultz comes all the way home from first. And Goering with a bases clearing double brings 3 runs home.
Great hit by Goering there with the team running, so that with the team going and he got the double means that it was easy for the runner on first to make it all the way home as they were running with full count and 2 outs.
Take another look at that. That was low in the zone. And the third baseman, Daniel Patrice, it was just beyond his reach. And that just trickled all the way into the corner. Jacques Boucheron had to run all the way over into the corner in foul territory to pick up that ball. And by the time it came all the way back into the infield, 3 runs came across the plate for Germany. It's not a home run, but 3 runs will do just nicely. So now Donald Lutz, the designated hitter, takes a look at Goering. He wants to bring him home from second. Pitch inside for a ball.
Well, he's still a threat at the plate, so they're not going to feed him anything down the middle to Lutz, one of the most experienced players on the German team.
2-0 pitch to Lutz is popped very high in the air. Going back, and Andy Paz runs out of room. So that's just a very high strike. As high as you could probably make it. 2 balls and 1 strike on the board against Donald Lutz.
No home runs yet in the tournament for Lutz.
Lutz, the 7th man up to the plate for Germany in the top of the second. Germany putting 3 runs on the board, looking for some more as Lutz takes one that whizzes by his head for ball number 3. As Lutz gets back into the box, he singled his last time up and advanced to second on Boltz's single. And that's just cranked. That is going to go. He just watches it fly, fly, fly away. What a moonshot from Donald Lutz, bringing Simon Goering home. In fact, I couldn't even see it when it left his bat. It just went poof all the way behind the fence in right. And Germany, with 2 swings of the bat, put 5 across the plate, and they lead this game 5-0.
Yeah, that one was crushed. That one went over the trees in right field. The right fielder didn't even move. He just looked up and stayed where he was.
That was an MLB caliber home run. My goodness, if we were in Baltimore, that might have hit the warehouse.
Or in the water at in San Francisco. That was a monster. Normally here you can see the ball come down into the trees that line the outfield, but that one was over the top of the trees. You'd have to leave the stadium. Kids will have to leave the stadium to get that memento.
I don't think that they want to give that ball up. I mean, you have to give up the foul balls here, but I don't know about the rules about home run balls. I mean, there is another fence out there between this field and the walking path. We are in a very nice park along the Rhine River. You know, if Lutz hit that the other way and had that same kind of power, that could have fallen into the Rhine River, but instead it's Max Bolt who finds the gap between left and center field for a single. So now Pascal Allman going to come up. That will mean that the Germans have batted around in the top of the second. Germany pouring it on.
And all those runs scored with 2 outs. So nice 2-out hitting by the German team here.
You are absolutely right, my friend. Germany may be the host nation, but they're designated the away team in this game as time is called. There was an errant ball in shallow right.
It's the foul balls coming from the field 2.
Don't know how that got there. So the first pitch to Pascal Allman is inside at the hip.
Allman, like I said, at his first at-bat, has some power, did hit a solo shot over the right field fence last night.
1-0 pitch to Allman, and he has to duck. And he had a couple of words for Cespedes at that. A little bit of jawing. As Allman really frustrated after that pitch nearly hit him right in the noggin. So he takes his spot back in the box, 2-0 count. And that's right down Main Street for strike 1. Take another look at Bolt, who is there at first.
We must have a lefty up in the other field. Another foul ball coming onto field 1 here.
Last 4 batters for Germany have all made it on base. 2-1 pitch. The curveball didn't break enough to make it in the zone. Count now 3 balls and 1 strike on Allman. So he may just wait for his pitch before taking his spot at first. 3-1 pitch incoming. And that's inside for ball 4. So we're going back through the order again. Brenk was hit by a pitch to get this inning underway. This will be the 3rd time he will come up in this game, as Cespedes is getting rocked and rolled out there on the mound in this inning. Giving up 4 hits and 2 walks and hitting a batter. As the coach comes out, and Cespedes, he knew. He just reached out and said, here's the ball. I know, I'm done. So Cespedes really frustrated coming off the field, and we're going to have a pitching change for France, and we'll give you the new pitcher when we come back.
Gillen.
So Leo Cespedes' day is done. Couldn't even make it through the 2nd inning, giving up 7 hits and 5 runs through 1 2/3 innings. And the danger is not done yet, as we have Kino Perez on the mound trying to get out of this jam and end the bleeding. Germany putting up 5 runs in the top of the second, still have 2 men on with 2 out. And the first pitch from Perez is a curveball that is a called strike 1. Perez, his ERA is 3.6. 7 hits through 5 innings of work. As Brank fouls off the pitch, count now no balls and 2 strikes. Brank was hit by a pitch to get this inning underway. Feels like forever ago. Germany 5, France nothing. In the top of the second, Brank awaits the 0-2 pitch. And he lays off as that one went way outside.
Yeah, Brank with only 1 hit so far in the tournament. Normally one of the most consistent hitters for the Capitals, where he plays shortstop.
But for Team Germany, he usually plays at third base, as he is playing there today. So Brank is back in the box, awaiting the 1-2 pitch. Perez checks at second before delivering, and that's lined foul. Will that go into the stands? Yes, it will, as the first baseman and right fielder gave chase. But that was just way too far out of play for Zahn and Dagnol. So the runners have to go back to first and second respectively. Bolt at second, Allman at first. Brank at the plate, and here comes the 1-2, and Brank lines that one just over Brown into shallow right field, and that's going to bring home a run. Here comes Bolt all the way from second, and Brank gives the Germans another run, and the lead is now 6-0.
Just a blooper in the center there, but and short enough so there was time for the runner at second to make it home. So nice hit by Brank with 2 strikes, and an easy score for the German team.
So as you see, that's Allman who stopped at third base. Allman going from one corner to the other. And Germany doing a lot of work with 2 men down. All 6 of their runs coming in this same position. Top of the second, 2 men down. Even with the new pitcher, still nothing doing, and that's taken deep to center. Could it go? Yes, it will! Germany going off, teeing off again, another home run. We had a 2-run home run from Donald Lutz earlier, and now Marco Cardozo with the 3-run home run to put Germany up 9-0. All 9 runs in the second inning, and it just keeps getting better and better for the men in black.
Another nice hit just over the fence in right center field, but Cardozo got a hold of that one for his 2nd home run in the tournament.
And that was to one of the deepest parts of the park, and it went the opposite way. Cardozo showing off the muscle. Wonder what kind of protein shake he eats or drinks. So now 1-0 pitch to Alexandra Smits.
I think they're running on adrenaline today after a long night last night and had to get up early to play this early game here against Team France.
1-1 pitch is taken for strike 1 on the outside corner. So Perez's 2-1 is lifted to center. Will that fall? Yes, it will. Everything going Germany's way. Schmidt with his 2nd hit, not just of the game, but of the inning. Germany still rocking and rolling.
Yeah, he didn't have, took an easy swing there, but it was enough to lift it off over the second baseman's head and plopped into shallow center field for an easy single.
This is the 13th plate appearance and make it 14 after Kotovsky was hit by the first pitch of the at-bat. France still out there in the field toiling away as Kotovsky took that one on the outside part, almost hit him in the knee.
Didn't really make an attempt to get out of the way, but that's ruled a hit by pitch.
I mean, it's really difficult to avoid getting hit by that one. You might have to do some interesting moves as the French coach coming out once again. These French pitchers are just getting taken advantage of. Looking out there, that's Jason Stanford checking on Perez. Andy Paz is out there as well at the mound. Now the umpire coming up saying, come on guys, it's time's up. We got to keep this game moving.
Yeah, not the game plan for the French team here with their starting pitcher gone in the second and their reliever also struggling here. Everything here with 2 outs. Germany with a man on second and first and second.
That's putting it very, very, very lightly, I might say. And we're going back to the top of the batting order for Germany. Philippe Schultz, he walked earlier in this inning. Comes up with 2 men on and still 2 out.
Nice off-speed pitch there for a strike for Perez.
He's going to need a bit more of those, a few more of those, if he wants to get out of this jam with enough bleeding. And that's lifted into center, and that time Jose Paula takes care of that. But Germany putting 14 men up on base, and 9 of them come home. So Germany with a 9-0 lead going into the bottom of the second inning. France needs a lot of work in a hurry.
And we'll be right back to Bonn, Germany in just a minute.
So after Germany puts 9 runs on the board in the top of the second, we finally come to the bottom of the second. France really need to get something going as a response. Otherwise, Germany will just take this game And the 1-0 pitch to Envie, the designated hitter, misses the zone for a ball 2. 4, 5, and 6 hitters coming up for France in the bottom of the second. France sending up the minimum number of batters in the previous inning. Here comes the 2-1, and that's raked to left, and that's going to fall for a base hit. Well, that's a way to get things started, as Envie is on with a leadoff single.
Just made it over Brank's head into left field, but not too far away from the line to make it into a double. If it was a bit closer to the line, kind of could have had a little more room there. So nice leadoff hit for the French team here.
Well, the French need base runners and base hits any way they can get them. So now Bastien Dagnol, the right fielder, coming up to the plate for the first time today. Takes a called strike 1 at the hip. Dagnol has appeared in all 6 games for France, hitting .400, 10 hits and 25 at-bats. 0-1 pitch, taken low, check over at first. And Luisa saying he did not swing through. So the count now 1 ball and 1 strike. Dagnol takes the 1-1 at the knees, but inside. Count now 2 balls and 1 strike. Envie over there at first. Attempted to steal a base 1 time, but was unsuccessful. As the 2-1 finds the zone for the second strike. Count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. For Marquez. The left-hander's 2-2 pitch is smashed foul. Still a 2-2 count in the bottom of the second, just underway in the bottom of the second inning. In case you're wondering, Germany put all 9 of those runs up in the top of this inning. 2-2 pitch, and that's taken the opposite way, and that's going to fall for a base hit as Allman puts his glove on it and throws it back into the infield. France looking for that first run, putting those base runners on, and now here comes Jose Paula, the center fielder. Take another look at Dagnol. Good off speed pitch. He just smashed to right.
Yeah, the German defense has to be attentive here. The French being back by 9, they're going to start swinging the bat and getting aggressive on the base running.
You know, the thing that you have to fear most is people who have nothing to lose, and France now really, I mean, they can lose this game, yes, but they're in a position where they really don't have anything to lose. Just go for broke. Go all out. Have fun.
Yeah, and the same goes for the Germans. They can't be happy with 9. They got to come out and keep getting the runs. You can see what can happen in just 1/2 inning. The Germans showed that, so anything is possible still this early in the game.
So now Jose Paula hitting .250. Takes the first pitch inside. But Paula also hitting .312. Slugging .312. Has yet to walk in this tournament as he fouls it off. Runners at first and second for Jose Paula. France down by 9. After Germany cruised to 9 runs, and that's a hit by pitch as Paula took that off the hip. And so the bases are loaded for France with nobody out in the bottom of the second inning.
And all this with no outs, so bases loaded for France. So this is how they wanted to come out in the bottom of the second here, loading them up with a hit by pitch. So Marquez has to watch out here that one hit can cut it down to 5 for the French team. Bases loaded.
And so now Simon Göring had to talk with Nobel Marquez. He had a great 3-up, 3-down inning back in the first inning, but that's line to left and past Eric Brink. That brings home one run. Here comes another run to the plate. And an RBI double, 2 RBI double for Jacques Boucheron, and France is starting their comeback.
Yeah, nice hit just up the left third base line, just fair into the corner. So that brings around 2 for the French and leaves them up now with man on second and third and no outs.
That fastball was low in the zone, and Boucheron just kept it on the ground and just fair, just long enough. And now Maillan swings through the first strike, and you might be able to hear the French team. They have some life in them. They may be down by 7, but there's still nobody out and 2 runners in scoring position. Zahn had to move to get out of that pitch. 1 ball and 1 strike on the man in white. Nobody warming up for Germany in their bullpen. Germany still with a very sizable, very decent lead. But if Zahn or any of the other batters that will be coming up later in this inning can get into Marquez's head, Germany may need to bring in a relief pitcher. So 2 balls, 2 strikes on Zahn. And Zahn hits it foul. First base side. Count still 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, Germany needs an out here to get through the inning.
Two balls, 2 strikes on Maillan. He has to step out, take a few swings. Some members of the Austrian team sitting behind home plate. Two-two pitch and swing and a miss. Zahn frustrated as he has to go take his seat. The first time that Marquez has struck out anyone.
Yeah, a nice fastball high and outside.
Take another look at that 2-2 pitch and got Zahn to chase, and he was frustrated. He knew it. Should not have gone after that outside fastball. So finally 1 man down in the bottom of the second, but still 2 runners on for France as that's grounded to the second base side. A run will score, but Cardozo's throw gets Daniel Patrice out at first, and now France going back to the top of their batting order with Felix Brown.
So a quick 2 outs here for the German team. But the Germans did score 9 at the top of this inning with 2 outs, so they have to stay sharp here.
And Boucheron moved over to third on that ground out. So Felix Brown back up to the plate. He grounded out to third in the previous inning. 1-0 pitch to Brown, and he takes a cut at that. But a cut is all he will get. Swing through the pitch for strike one. Count even at 1 ball and 1 strike. 2 men down in the bottom of the second. Runner at third for Brown. Takes a called strike 2 on the inside corner. 1 ball and 2 strikes against Brown. Marquez can get out of this jam that he put himself into with 1 more good pitch. But Brown keeps the inning going with a foul ball.
That was a nice pitch, but Brown just getting a piece of the bat on it, fouling it away.
One-two pitch to Brown, and he swings through strike 3. So Marquez, after allowing 2 runs to cross the plate, he retires the last 3 in order. But France put 3 on the board, still down by 6 after 2 innings of play. To the top of the 3rd inning we go here in Bonn, Germany. 12 runs crossing the plate in the 2nd inning. 9 for Germany, 3 for France. That inning taking up much of the time in this game. Germany about to come back up to the plate. They sent 14 men up to the dish in the previous inning.
And we have a new pitcher for Team France, number 34, Esteban Prioul, a lefty. We'll see if we can find some statistics on him. So 3rd pitcher already for Team France after just 2 innings.
Just a very, very rough start. That's just putting it lightly as I possibly can. That's the equivalent of 1 pitcher an inning. Kino Perez only going 1/3 of an inning. So Simon Göring coming up for the 3rd straight inning. Göring had the bases clearing double to put 3 runs on the board.
Well, that was with full count and 2 outs.
That's exactly right.
So that was that started the rally.
Just going through the official scorecard, Cespedes has been charged with 7 earned runs. The relief pitcher Perez gave up 2 runs, both of them earned in 1/3 inning of play. And Göring gets on base with a 4-pitch walk. So things not getting any easier for these French pitchers.
And let's see how Priul is going to pitch. Donald Lutz coming up to the plate here, who hit that deep, crushed that deep home run in the second inning.
Got to feel real tense. The French dugout saying that they want a ground ball right here so that they could turn it into 2 outs, as Lutz holds off on the strike. So count now, no balls and 2 strikes. Priol checks over at first and delivers the 0-2 that stays in play. And is that going to fall? Yes, it will. Falls right in front of Dagnol. And everybody's safe. Göring is at second. Lutz is at first. So 2 runners for Germany to get the top of the third started. It's likely going to be ruled a single as we take another look at that blooper that fell right in front of Dagnol. He slid for it, lost his sunglasses in the process.
Just a reaching swing by Lutz, but got enough of it to get it over the infield, and a tough play for the right fielder there.
And that is indeed ruled a single to right center field. Lutz didn't swing at either of the first 2 pitches in the at-bat, just waiting for that exact moment to swing. And he got it for a single, halfway to the cycle. 0-1 the count now on Max Bolt, the first baseman. He ropes that to left field, and that's going to drive in a run. Here comes Göring from second, around third, all the way home. The throw is not in time and off target. So Boltz brings home Germany's 10th run of the game, and we haven't even gotten a single out in the top of the third inning.
Yeah, just a grounder right through the gap between the shortstop and the third baseman. And a good jump. Who was it that scored there?
That was Göring, who came around to score.
Nice jump by Göring to get home on that. Wasn't hit too hard. That sometimes helps, gives him a little extra time before the left fielder gets to the ball.
So now Pascal Allman, who got things started in the previous inning with a leadoff walk. He's back up to the dish for the 3rd straight inning in this 10-3 ball game. Germany up by 7 runs. Germany scoring early and often, proving that the host nation has something to offer. 2-0 pitch, and the check, and the umpire who was standing at second said that he did not swing, pulled it back, much to the French's dismay.
And we'll get a look at it here.
So that third base umpire not standing at third base, in fact, right in front of second. 2-1 pitch called on the outside part of the plate, a strike. 2 balls and 2 strikes now. So other than those 3 runs in the bottom of the second inning, not a single thing going right for the French team. So the scoreboard showing 3-1. It should be, it is called 3-1 by the umpire. French saying it should be 2-2. but the umpire makes the decision. Count as 3 balls and 1 strike, and now 3 balls and 2 strikes on that inside pitch. Allman making Priaulx work very, very hard in this at-bat. 3-2 pitch, and that's lifted in the air. That's going to stay in the infield. Infield fly rule in effect, and Brown gets underneath for out number 1.
That's the first out for the Germans with Eric Brank coming to the bat.
And Allman knew that he was out right when that ball left the bat. This time a very clear infield fly. France hit into a double play yesterday that ended the first inning with an infield fly. Nobody knew what was going on. But everyone knew this time. So now Eric Brank up to the dish, takes the 0-1 into the dirt. Count 1 ball and 1 strike on Brank, who singled his last time up, brought home a run with that. Could get another RBI if he gets another single, but he's waiting for his next pitch as that 1-1 went low. 2 balls and 1 strike now. Brank back in the box, right-handed batter going up against the left-handed pitcher. 2-1 pitch, and Brank gets some contact on that, but the third baseman over there tags third base. Throw over to first is not in time, so the top of the third inning will continue, but Brank grounds into a fielder's choice, but runners still at first and second with 2 men gone.
Yeah, there was a nice ground ball by Brank, but didn't have enough speed. And with the third baseman playing close to the line, that was an easy play for him to get the lead runner there for the out.
That throw could have been a little bit better from Patrice. If he had thrown that a little bit harder, that might have gotten Brank at first. Instead, that throw looked like it was done for formality reasons. So runners at first and second for Marco Cardozo. 2 men gone. This is when Germany put all 9 of their runs on the board in the previous inning. So the count now 1 ball and no strikes on Cardozo. Had the 3-run home run in the previous inning. 1-0 pitch, and that's foul to the opposite side.
Yeah, Cardozo still batting .500, which is just a great batting average to have for a tournament.
Unbelievable average to just have in any competition in baseball. 1 ball and 1 strike on Cardozo. And he takes that one into right field. Right fielder getting underneath of that, had a little bit of trouble finding it in the sun, but Dagnall got underneath of that in time and makes the final out. But Germany puts another run on the board, and they have a 10-3 lead going into the bottom of the third. We're good now. Thank you. So now that's Andy Paz, the catcher, coming up. He flew out to center to end the first inning. France need a few more guys on base and a lot more hits, and that could do it as Paz gets all of that spicy meatball. That 1-0 pitch becomes a solo home run, and the French dugout showing their applause, showing their support and appreciation as Andy Paz comes around, takes his time around the bases, getting that solo home run. That'll do. That'll get a run on the board.
Yeah, the German outfielders on that one also didn't move much. They could see that that was a home run basically once it left the bat. You can hear it too.
Yeah, that was just a very clean smack going right into the stands and then over into the trees behind left field. So Germany put a run on the board in the top of the third, and France respond with a run of their own in the bottom of the third. With one man down, here comes Envie. He singled his last time up, and that was a good hit, but foul. Had a nice crack of the bat. But the count is no balls and one strike. Swings through the outside off-speed pitch. And he takes his seat after striking out. So it's now two men gone in the bottom of the third inning.
So Marquez still strong there on the mound for the German team. This is what they needed out of him.
Not his best outing, but if you have an offense that has put 10 runs on the board, all will be forgiven.
Well, it's been a tough week for pitchers. They've been called almost every other day.
As Dagnol gets into the 1-0 pitch, all the way out into right field for a single.
With one game right after the other, the coaches are really hoping that their starters can go a bit longer so they don't have to use too many of their pitchers. Winner of this game, or both of teams, well, the winner of this game will have to play again tomorrow. So
and if you lose this game, you are done for the tournament. You'll be placed in either 7th or 8th place. So runner at first, two men gone for Jose Pola.
it's a nice format, whereas the playoff for that 5th spot brings a little extra added excitement to the end.
Extra incentive for both these teams, trying to get that last spot in that Olympic qualifying tournament.
It's almost like in European football, where they have the battle for the top and the relegation battle at the bottom. We don't really have something like that in baseball, but this feels a bit like that. Fighting to stay in the tournament and securing a spot in the next round.
Speaking of relegation, Sweden lost all of their games, all 7, and so they finished last in the standings. The bottom 2 teams will be relegated to Pool B play, but neither France nor Germany have to worry about that. It's the 1-1 is taken to the left side, and that's going to be a base hit. So 2 straight singles for France sends Dagnol over to second, and Paula is safe at first. Still 2 men gone in the bottom of the third inning, as Paula just put that perfectly between short and third. So now that's Jacques Boucheron, who had a 2 RBI double back in the previous inning. brought home Dagno and Paula. So very similar situation. Only difference is there's 2 men gone here, and he brought those 2 runs home with no one gone in the previous inning. So Marquez has to wait as Dagno steps out of the box. Oh, 1 pitch, and that is fouled over towards the German dugout. So now France down to their final strike in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Boucheron getting back into the box. The right-handed batter is ready. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. That is taken on the inside part of this plate, and the umpire rings him up. So that is the 2nd strikeout of the inning, but France puts a run on the board, still down by 6 after 3 innings of play. So 1/3 of the way through the game, and we have had a lot of scoring. If you're just joining us, where have you been as you just see the scoreboard put up on the board? Germany 10, France 4, and we have yet another French pitcher on the mound. That is a new pitcher. Let me figure out who that is. Just give me a couple of seconds. It is number 26, Marc-André Avec. So the 4th pitcher for Team France. All 3 of the previous pitchers responsible for at least 1 run. As the first pitch to Alexandra Smits is called a ball to get this 4th inning underway. And Schmidt thinking about bunting but pulling back, and it's a called strike 2. Abeck with a 1.29 ERA. Missing low, count now 2 balls and 1 strike. Abeck has won a game through 7 innings and gave up 4 hits in the win against Belgium, which was called early thanks to the slaughter rule. They won that 12-2. 2-2 pitch, and that's fouled off. just in front of the German bullpen. So Alexandra Smits hitting 2 for 2 today with 2 singles. And a run as well as Smits stays alive, fouling off the 2-2. Count stays at 2 balls and 2 strikes. And now Smits calling for time. And that is lined into left, smoked, if you will, all the way out to the left fielder Boucheron. And Smits is on with a leadoff single, the 3rd straight time that he has singled at the plate, singling in the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th innings.
Yeah, this is the Germans really keeping the bats alive here. Nice bit of hitting with 2 strikes. Right past the 3rd baseman for a single to start them off here.
And that is the 13th hit of the game for Germany. Going very, very strong. Getting a hit in at least 1 hit in every single inning. So now the 1-1 count on Kevin Kotowski.
Yeah, Kotowski looked like he wanted to bunt on that first pitch, but he wasn't able to make contact.
1-1 pitch. Kotowski did go beyond the plate, so the count now 1 ball and 2 strikes, as the umpire had to check with his colleague. He's normally on the line at 3rd, but has to go over to 2nd. 1-2, and that's popped up. That's going to leave the infield, go into early shallow left, and no one can get underneath of it. Lefevre was the closest one there, and the throw back into the infield goes all the way behind home plate. Lefevre, that throw looked like it was just out of frustration, as that just fell perfectly in between all 3 fielders, the shortstop, 3rd baseman, and left fielder.
Yeah, perfect placement. A bit lucky there for the German team. 3 guys close, but none of them close enough to make the play.
Yeah, Lefevre was the closest one, but he just misread it, stepped a little bit too far to the left, and by the time he tried to recover, it was too late and it fell right in front of him. That has to be the most frustrating hit that you can give up. So now back to the top of the order for Germany for the 4th time. Still nobody out. Runners on 1st and 2nd. Germany just being very German, very efficient. 10 runs on 14 hits, and they're looking for more runs.
Well, it looked like they're also getting a bit lucky with the ball placement on their hits, just over. Either they're getting some singles just over the head of the infield, just short of the outfielders. So they were a bit lucky on Friday the 13th last night, and looks like the luck is going their way here Saturday the 14th.
Well, I think that they used up all their luck in the beginning, giving up that walk-off home run to Italy in the bottom of the 9th. So they're in this position, as that is a pitch that goes into the dirt and behind. So that is a walk for Schultz, 3rd time that he has reached base. And the bases are loaded, as actually that hit him on the calf. So the bases are loaded, nobody out in the top of the 4th inning. Germany just staying on top of things at the plate. And other than that early pickoff at first, Germany has just been rocking and rolling on the bags, bringing home 10 and looking for more as Simon Göring comes up to the plate, having reached base twice in the 3 plate appearances that he has had. Doubled last time up with the bases loaded. Last time that the bases were loaded for him. Brought home all 3 runners. You know he wants to do that again.
Yeah, this is a tough spot for the French pitcher here. Just came in this inning.
1-1 pitch, and that's going to be grounded, and that's going to stay in the infield. Short to second, to first. And only 1 out as Göring just beat out the throw, and he brings home a run on that fielder's choice. So Germany with an 11-4 lead, runners on the corners with 1 out.
Yeah, maybe the shortstop, let's see on the replay here, could have made that play without the toss. The toss there taking a bit too time, but it was a slow roller.
No, I don't think that he could have.
Yeah, I think the ball was just hit too slowly, giving Göring time to make it to first base and beating the throw.
And another discussion on the mound. Everybody in the infield is invited, and they have to have this really tense discussion with Abeck. And he's going to stay out there. Now, we don't have a good view into the French bullpen, but you have to imagine that somebody has to be warming up out there.
Well, that does leave a man on first, so the infield here hoping for a ground ball that they can turn into a double play and get out of this inning with just 1 run scored.
Neither side grounding into a double play in this game. Germany putting another run on the board, looking for some extra insurance. Can't have too much. In fact, if they can put at least 3 more runs on the board, that would put France in serious trouble with the slaughter rule. 0-1 the count on Donald Lutz, who is 3 for 3 with a home run and 2 RBIs.
Yeah, he's been swinging the bat well, but he's also been patient at the plate waiting for his pitch. And that was not it.
Count now 1-1. As the 0-1 missed the zone. Taking a look at Kotowski, who's over at third. And Lutz gets underneath of it, but foul into the trees behind the German bullpen. So the count now 1 ball and 2 strikes on Donald Lutz. Still runners on the corners. Germany putting 1 run on the board in the 4th. Here it comes, and Lutz gets into that. Is that going to fall? It will, and it falls right in front of Paula, who dove for it, and it goes right over his head. Coach sending the runner from first all the way home. Simon Göring is the 13th run for Germany, and we are not through 4 innings of play. Great RBI double for Donald Lutz as that ball bounced right over Paula all the way to the wall, and Germany putting runs 12 and 13 across the board. Lutz with another 2 RBI hits.
Not a very smart play by the outfielder. Didn't look like he even had a chance. Probably should have let that one fall and held it to just one run and a runner at second and first. But he went for it, and it got past him on that one.
Bala thought that his legs would be worth his while. Not exactly known for his speed. Hasn't even attempted to steal when France was up to the plate.
And it looks like Lutz might be coming out of the game here, maybe hurting himself, getting to second base. He kind of held up awkwardly. So he'll have a pinch runner here. And we'll see if the next inning, if he's, well, he's the DH as well, right?
Yes,
Yep.
he is the DH.
Yep. So number 34 entering the game, that's Luke Sommer. With the mustache, who was the starting pitcher for the German team last night. Must have some legs on him.
So now that brings up Max Bolt, the first baseman who has singled thrice in this game in the first, second, and third innings. So a runner on second for him. Takes the 1-0 pitch at the knees for a 1-1 count. As you can see, a few flies out there in the outfield. They may have wings, but they certainly aren't angels in the outfield. 1-1 pitch. And that is out of play. Count 1-2. Bolts now, after 3 straight singles, hitting .375 in the tournament.
Yeah, 3 for 3 for today.
1-2 pitch on the way, and that misses low. Count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Another single would bring in Sommer from third.
Actually at second.
Second, sorry.
No worries. The 1-2 pitch is grounded to second. Throw over to first in time for the second out. So that brings up Pascal Allman.
In Germans again with two. We got 2 outs again. So remember, in the first inning that was 2 outs. They scored all 9 runs.
Allman, another member of this German team who has come up to the plate in all 4 innings now, as Soma moved over to third on that ground out. A single from Allman would do nicely for this German team, as that would bring the slaughter rule into effect, and that's not going to be necessary as Soma comes home on the wild pitch that bounced right past Andy Paz. So Germany now up 14-4.
Yeah, France on their 4th pitcher here, and he's also struggling.
Yeah,
with
that
his control. You can see it on the replay here. No, that's back to
that off-speed pitch bouncing right in front of home plate and then going right behind Paz, whose glove was low and couldn't bring the glove back up in time. And Allman swings through the high heat for strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes on him. Needing to readjust his helmet, things warming up in the early afternoon here in Bonn, Germany. And Germany's bat's on fire with 14 runs, but Allman swings through the final strike of the top of the 4th. But Germany putting 4 runs across the plate in the top of the 4th, leading by 10. Slaughter rule can't be ruled out now as we go to the bottom of the 4th. France still trail by 10. So Enobel Marquez coming back out to the mound for his 4th inning of work. Normally giving up 4 runs through 3 innings would be a sign of trouble, but they're going to keep him out there because Germany has put up 14 runs. So now Mayazan up to the plate, takes strike 1, 8, 9, and 1 hitters coming up for France in this bottom of the 4th inning. 0-1 pitch, taken for ball 1. Count is now 1 ball and 1 strike on the right-handed hitter, who is 0 for 1. He struck out swinging his last time up. One pitch on the way, and that's called ball 2.
Yeah, home field umpire Jiří Kroupa from the Czech Republic.
Swing and a miss, strike 2.
He's been keeping a tight strike zone there, but been consistent for both sides.
Saw nearly swung himself out of his shoes on that swing 2-2 pitch, and that's grounded right side. Second baseman picks it up, turns, throws, and the crowd showing their support for the great job from Marco Cardozo to keep that ball from going into the outfield, and Zahn, the leadoff man, goes down.
Yeah, that was a slick play by Cardozo for an out there. It's not a very deep infield, so he made that on the grass.
So that brings up third baseman Daniel Patrice. Actually, they're going to bring up Jonathan Duforest, number 17, in place of Patrice. Just now finding out about this substitution.
Yeah, the French team making some changes. Back by 10. This is they have to put everything in.
2-1 pitch is lined to right, but the right fielder just saw it right away, and Allman took his time, got underneath of it for out number 2. As simple and easy as you like with that fly ball. Take another look at that Duforest fly out, taken the opposite way, just right in front of the shade that's coming from the trees. And Allman able to take care of that. That's going his way, but Allman going to have to work for that one, running over to his left and makes the grab on the warning track. So Felix Brown down on 1 swing and 1 pitch. France goes down 1-2-3 in the bottom of the 4th inning. And Germany looking good through 4 innings, still up by 10 as we go to the 5th inning.
Abgelenkt und genervt von trockenen, juckenden Augen? Nicht mit Purpursaat, den innovativen Kapseln zur oralen Einnahme. Sei voll da, wenn's drauf ankommt. Erhältlich in Apotheken und unter shop.sanoctua.com.
So to the 5th inning, and Eric Brink is up there taking ball 1 to get this 5th inning underway. And now make it ball 2 as that pitch just missed the zone. Abeck still out there. (2-0) pitch misses away, 3-0 now. Abeck having a couple of control issues to get this inning started. And finally finds the zone on the 3-0.
Brink getting a little bit of a batting average here, going 1 for 2 with an RBI.
Also been hit by a pitch. He thought he had the green light to first, but instead it's strike 2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes to count now on the German third baseman. And he is set for the 3-2 pitch, and that's grounded over to short. Lefevre throws over to first. And that is out number 1.
Looks like he got that off the end of the bat. So a slow roller to the shortstop for an easy out.
So France finally getting the leadoff man to go down. That is the first time that France has retired the leadoff man in this game. So now Marco Cardozo, who had a 3-run home run a couple of innings ago, actually make it 3 innings ago, as I had to scooch over to the 3rd inning on my scorecard. He's up to the plate, swings through the 0-1. That good 2-seamer on the inside. Count now, no balls and 2 strikes. Cardozo comes back to the plate. He gets set. A few members of the Dutch team now sitting behind home plate.
And Abeck happy with his, got the getting that out, and now is really coming at the batters here.
Cardozo gets into the 0-2. That's going to stay in play. And Dagno takes care of that. So 2 men up, 2 men down for Germany in the top of the 5th.
So let's see what happens here with 2 outs. The Germans have been able to rally with 2 outs in previous innings. So
Abeck going through 5 outs. That's as far as any French pitcher has gone in this game. So now Schmidt, who has singled 3 times. I was about to say triple single. What is going on with my brain? But Schmidt has singled 3 times, twice in the 2nd inning.
So 1-1 here now for Schmidt with 2 outs.
Right-hander holds off on the 1-1 pitch, and he is punished. Now the count is 1-2. Members of the Dutch team sitting behind home plate. They will be playing against Spain in a couple hours, should things stay on schedule. Also got the Czech Republic going up against Belgium on the other field here in Bonn.
So full count here for Schmidt with 2 outs.
Abeck looking to get Germany to go down 1-2-3, and he can't do it as Schmidt singles for the 4th time today. 4 hits, 4 total bases for him. He keeps the German offense up to the plate. So now that brings up Kevin Kotowski, who has singled, struck out swinging, and was hit by a pitch. We're in the top of the 5th inning in this classification game. Winner will be in the 5th place game tomorrow. That all-important final spot for the Olympic qualifying tournament. Loser will be in 7th or 8th place. No game to decide 7th place. And if things stay the way they are, Germany will be in that 5th place game tomorrow, and Kotovsky takes strike 2. One ball, 2 strikes against the German center fielder. And he gets a piece of the 1-2 to stay alive in the at-bats. Runner on first, 2 men gone for Germany in the top of the 5th inning. But Germany lead by 10. If they can keep this lead through the 7th inning, the game will be over. And Kotovsky grounds it to second. Brown flips it over to first. And the Germans go down. They leave a man on first, but they still have a 10-run lead going into the bottom of the 5th inning.
So just a bit of an update here from Field 2. In the other game, there's Belgium playing the Czech Republic. It's now tied 4-4 in the 8th. So a close game being played right next door here.
The winner of that game going to face the winner of this game in the 5th place game tomorrow. Nothing's been 100% decided yet. We're still playing, and France still up there. That's Lefevre, his 3rd time up to the plate. Was hit by a pitch in the first and was caught stealing, and he grounded out to the catcher last time up.
That game with the Czech Republic is being broadcast live on Czech TV, so nice job by the guys from Playo.tv.
1-1 pitch inside, below the knees, so count now 2 balls and 1 strike. Two-one pitch to Lefevre is outside. Count now 3 balls and 1 strike. 2, 3, and 4 hitters coming up for France. Lefevre, Paz, and Envie. Together they are responsible for 1 of the 4 French runs. As Lefevre swings through strike 2, full count now on the French shortstop.
So Marquez still pitching here in the 5th. No sign of anyone warming up in the German bullpen.
Looks like they still believe in him. 3-2 pitch on the way, and Lefevre takes that to right into Brenk's glove. Just had to bring it up a little bit, And that is the first man gone in this 5th inning.
Yeah, don't even think he moved his feet on that one.
I think you're absolutely right. Not sure if we'll be able to get the replay on that. But either way, good job from Brink. Replay or not. And it's one man down for France in the bottom of the 5th inning. That's Andy Paz, who had a solo home run in the 3rd inning. France down by 4. They need to score. Count now 1-0 on Paz after taking the first ball. 1-0 pitch misses high. Count now 2 balls and no strikes.
We're sitting above the French bullpen here, and they're getting quite quiet here in the 5th. Back 10 runs.
So now we're going to take another look at that line out to 3rd. And Brink, yeah, he did not need to move his feet on that. Just good defense from him, good defense from Team Germany as the 2-0 is fouled away. Count now 2 balls and 1 strike. 1 out, bottom of the 5th. Germany leading France 14-4 in this classification game. Winner moves to the 5th place game tomorrow. As Paz gets underneath of that, that's going to stay in fair territory and in the infield. And the shortstop Schmidt gets that, takes care of that for out number 2. 2 men up, 2 men down for France in the 5th inning. That brings up Fred Envie, the DH, as we take another look at Schmidt. Needed to take a few steps back after coming in closer to the plate, but Schmidt knew what he was doing. So now 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th, and Envie cranks it foul. No balls, 1 strike on the French DH. And the pitch and swing and a miss.
And Marquez fooled him on that one. He was way ahead. Thinking fastball. Got him with the off speed.
0-2, and that's grounded foul beside 3rd base. Count no balls and 2 strikes still, and here it comes from Marquez. Misses low. Count now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Envie down to his final strike. France down to their final out in the bottom of the 5th inning. 1-2 pitch grounded right to the French dugout. Forced some of the men in white to duck. Fortunately for them, the cameras did not catch that. Two balls, 2 strikes now. After Envie took ball 2, now taking ball 3 right by the belt.
So full count here with 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th.
Payoff pitch from Marquez, and that misses low. So Envie is on base with the walk. Still don't see anybody out there in the German bullpen.
Well, there's still a lot of baseball to be played, so if he can go as far as he can, they can save some of their pitchers for tomorrow's game.
Bare minimum 2 more innings needed in this game. Absolutely no threat of rain today. And Dagnot gets underneath of that, taken to left field, sending the fielder all the way back to the warning track, but Schultz was there. and the threat is no more. Dagnot with some power, but not the right angle, and leaves Envie stranded at first. France still trail by 10 going into the 6th inning of play. "14-4 game, Germany in the lead, looking like they are in pole position to go to the 5th place game tomorrow against the winner of the Czech Republic and Belgium game, which is going on right next door on field number 2 in Bonn. And back to the top of the order we go for the 5th time for this German team. So that's Schultz out there to get things going in the 6th inning. 1-1 the count, and that's popped up behind home plate. Paz has enough room and had enough time to get underneath the ball for out number 1.
And in the other game, it's the Czech Republic is up 5-4 against Belgium in the bottom of the 8th inning. So tight game happening on our neighboring field here.
So now the second man coming up for Germany, Simon Göring. Germany bringing the top of the order up to the plate. After Göring will be Soma. Göring takes a called strike. Count even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Marc-Andre Abeck is still out there. Has thrown 2 innings. That's more than any other French pitcher today.
The weather is good.
The starting pitcher going 1 2/3. And then Perez allowing 2 earned runs on 1/3 inning of play. Then Esteban Priol went 1 inning, and now Abeck going 2. And make it actually 2 1/3. 1-2 pitch. And Göring lays off. 2 balls and 2 strikes on the number 14 for Team Germany. On the official scorecard, he was listed as number 16, but he'll take 14, and he'll take that single the opposite way.
A nice rip just right in the gap for Göring for another base hit for him today.
Take another look at that hit. The right-hander throwing it a little outside on the low and outside corner. Not a very easy pitch to hit. So now a runner at first for Luc Soma. who came in for Donald Lutz.
So Luke is normally a pitcher here, but he's gonna get a chance at the plate.
Swings through the 0-1 pitch. Now it's no balls and 2 strikes.
Luke grew up in the U.S., has been playing for the German team since 2012.
7 good years for him as the 0-2 is raked into left. And Boucheron gets underneath of that for the second out. Things moving a little bit quicker, especially compared to that second inning when 12 runs crossed the plate, 9 for Germany, 3 for France. As another look at Boucheron taking care of business in left. So now the 4th hitter for Germany, Max Bolt. 3 singles, came around to score in the second.
Let's see, and 2 outs again for the Germans with a man on. Let's see if they get another rally here in the 6th inning.
1-0 pitch is tapped into the screen for strike 1.
A big cut by Bolt there.
So I mentioned earlier about the slaughter rule. If Germany can score 5 more runs, they will be up by 15. And if they can stay up by 15, then it will end the game after 6 innings. However, if Germany keeps this 10-run lead, or perhaps adds to it, but if so long as they lead by at least 10 runs and it stays that way after 7 innings, then this game will be over. 2-1 pitch, and that is taken for a ball. Count now 3 balls and 1 strike.
I like how you call it the slaughter rule. We usually go by the mercy rule, which looks at it from the other end, but either way, same rule applies.
It's kind of like how sometimes in soccer it's called either golden goal or sudden death, depending on how you want to look at it and depending on what end of the goal you were on. So now full count on Bolt.
And 2 outs, so the run will be going. And there's a walk.
So Goering was running, and then halfway through his run to second decided to ease up on the gas, as it is now runners on first and second for Germany. Still going on, still going strong. Germany looking good. So now Pascal Allman up to the plate. He is 0 for 3 today, but he did reach base on a walk. Everybody from Germany has made it on base. Allman is the only player without a hit for Team Germany as he fouls that one to the third base side. Third baseman Patrice mistiming his grab. In fact, that was actually Malzahn.
Yeah, it could have been the sun playing a role there.
Yeah, that's one of the very difficult things about baseball, trying to find that white dot as it comes down from the blue sky, especially if it's a hazy day, and if you're looking up in the sky, it would be pretty hazy.
So that's when you don't know the field, you're looking up and trying to find your way around. You don't know where the fence is or...
1-2 pitch, and that's grounded. That stays in the infield. Nice diving grab by the first baseman. Toss over to the pitcher who came over to cover first in time. So that's going to do it for Germany. They put 2 men on, strand them both, but they lead by 10 going into the bottom of the 6th inning.
So we're back in the bottom of the 6th inning. We have a new pitcher for Team Germany. This is Daniel Thieben, and we'll try to pull up his stats in a minute here. But he'll get some extra throws as he's new on the mound. So Marquez making it through 5, giving up 4 runs, but that was a strong showing for Team Germany as they've managed to put 14 on the board. And they're happy that their starter was able to go the full 5 innings.
So just a quick look at Daniel Thieben. His record is 0-1 in this tournament. That loss coming in that 8-1 loss to the Netherlands. Thieben with a 9 ERA. And that was the only time that he appeared in the tournament. In that loss to the Netherlands, gave up 7 hits through 5 innings and 5 runs. And now to the bottom of the 6th inning we go. 6, 7, and 8 hitters coming up for France. Starting off with Jose Paula, who has reached base twice, once with a single and the other time was hit by a pitch. Came around to score in the 2nd. Quickly behind 0-2. And swing and a miss. He went fishing on the outside changeup. So he is the first man up and he is the first man gone. Great pitch from Thieben to get Paula to chase.
Yeah, Paula, fooled by that 3rd pitch breaking ball, was way ahead of it. So that's a strikeout for Thieben for his first batter he has faced.
So now Jacques Boucheron, the right-handed batter, coming up to face Thieben. Righty-righty matchup. And Thieben gets the first blow in this matchup. 0-1 the count. Now inside, and Boucheron had to move away just a moment to avoid getting hit. 1-1 the count now. 1-1 pitch into the dirt and all the way to the backstop. Count now 2 balls and 1 strike. Boucheron struck out looking to end the 3rd inning last time he was up, but he also drove in a couple of runs. And that is grounded, and that's going to stay in the infield, and that is out number 2. As that looked like Schmidt with the grab and throw. So
that
2
was,
men up, 2 men
Brink
down.
with the play.
Excuse me, thank you. Thank you for the correction.
I
was just going off
just
the video board.
Routine ground ball. The German team looking really relaxed out there in the field.
Well, they know that they have this in hand so long as they can just keep things going the way they are. And just to give an update from field number 2, it is final in between the Czech Republic and Belgium. Czech Republic winning 5-4. So the winner of this game, presumably Germany, will face the Czech Republic for 5th place tomorrow right here at 11 a.m. Meanwhile, Belgium going to be either 7th or 8th, depending on what the tournament leaders decide. So the count now 1 ball and 2 strikes on Zahn, who moved over from 1st to 3rd in the game. Zahn 0 for 2. And he reached for it and he struck out. A quick 1-2-3 inning. And he is the 2nd strikeout victim for France. Take another look at that outside pitch that just came right back inside Good movement on the off-speed pitch, and Zahn was completely fooled. So France down 1-2-3. To the 7th and potentially final inning we go in this classification game. Germany lead by 10. Out there on the mound, having gone more than 2 innings, actually now make it 3 innings of work for the 4th French pitcher of the game. Germany leading 14-4. And Ole, we were talking in between the break. We were talking about how Germany might need some insurance runs. Now, they're already up by 10, but they can end the game if they can keep their 10-run lead after 7 innings. So we could get out of here a little bit early and clear the field for the Netherlands when they go up against Spain, currently scheduled for 3 p.m. Looks like that game should start on time.
Yeah, I think that would be good for the whole team. If they do end up winning after 7, they can get a bit of a longer rest, get out of the sun, and start preparing for tomorrow's game.
And Eric Brink was caught looking at that nice pitch on the outside part of the plate, and he goes down on strikes. So 1 man down for Germany in the top of the 7th inning. Take another look at that off-speed pitch that just clipped the outside zone for strike 3.
Christoph Ziegler, who was in there at bat, maybe replacing Eric Brent. We don't have the changes in the game yet here. He was wearing number 12.
You're right, that was Ziegler, my mistake, as Cardozo gets on base with a single. No mistake about that. So the second man up is on base. Germany looking to add a few more runs and get this game through 7 innings. So now Alexandra Smits, the shortstop. All 4 times he has come up to the plate, he has singled, come around twice.
Well, let's see if the Germans try to steal a base here.
He doesn't on that pitch, and that's lifted just beyond shortstop. Will it fall? It will, but right into Jose Paula's glove in center for the second out. And that is the first time that Schmidt has gone down in this game. My voice starting to come away from me. I've only had 1 day off in this tournament. That was Monday. Technically, I wasn't even supposed to be here today, but I don't mind coming in for you all. The Dutch team, few players behind there in the black and orange one of the Spanish players in the first row right behind home plate in the red and yellow.
And the Dutch guys are enjoying the sun. They were vocally complaining about the weather at the beginning of the tournament, rain and cold.
1-1 pitch on the inside to Kotovsky. Kotovsky 1 for 3. Came around to score. Was also hit by a pitch. 2-1, and that's lifted left side. Is that going to stay in play? No, it won't. Boucheron gave chase, but that was out of his reach as well, so count now at 2 balls and 2 strikes on the German center fielder Kotovsky. Left-handed batter, right-handed pitcher. 2-2. Just misses inside. 3 balls and 2 strikes now on Kotovsky. Still just amazing for Germany. I mean, they have 18 hits and just one man in the starting lineup didn't get a hit, as Kotovsky takes a close ball 4. So now runners on first and second for Germany. And now we go back to the top of the order for the 6th time.
So Albeck not happy with that call, so gets a warning from the home plate umpire, Jiří Krupa from the Czech Republic.
And so with the game on the second field finishing up, now the announcer, the public address announcer, can be a bit more vocal. And Schultz takes a called ball 1. Schultz 1 for 3 with a couple walks. Count now 2-0. Runners on first and second for Schultz. 2 out in the top of the 7th. Germany looking for a few more runs, leading by 10. And Schultz takes a called strike 1 on the outside. Nice look at second base. And that's where Cardozo is, and a swing and a miss. Schultz took a whack at that.
Yeah, that was a big swing. So now he's got 2 strikes on him with 2 outs and 2 balls.
Made him look like a slow whack-a-mole player. So Schultz back in there, 2-2 inside. Had to turn away. But now 3 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs. Cardozo and Kotovsky are going to run. Three-two pitch for Schultz, and the runners go, and Schultz swings and misses, and that does it for Germany. Schultz leaves 2 men on base. Hopefully it won't matter too much, as Germany leads by 10 going into the bottom of the 7th. To the bottom of the 7th inning we go. This could potentially be the final 3 outs of play as Germany leads by 10. Remember the mercy rule, slaughter rule, whatever you want to call it. If a team is leading by 10 after 7 innings of play, then that will be it for the game. So France, depending on their 9-1 and 2 hitters to keep things going for France. Starting off with Duforest, who is 0 for 1 in the game.
And Christoph Ziegler, after that at-bat, is now at third base for Germany.
And Duforest gets into the first pitch he sees, very, very deep, but the center fielder Kotowski is underneath of that, so 1 pitch and 1 out in the bottom of the 7th inning. Germany 2 outs away from the win. Take another look at that long flyout from Duforest. Kotowski going back all the way into the shade and just a step in front of that warning track before making the squeeze. So now back to the top of the lineup. Felix Brown hitting it the opposite way, and Ziegler can't come up with the grab. So the count now, no balls and 1 strike. Brown going 0 for 3 today. Grounded out, struck out, and flew out to right. And he is now down to his final strike, 0-2 after swinging at that one.
And he's a switch hitter, so he's up the right-hand batter. He's swinging from the left side.
0-2 pitch on the way, and Brown just gets a piece to stay alive. Gotta say, those Dutch uniforms make me think of the Baltimore Orioles. That was my team growing up. I basically grew up at Oriole Park at Camden Yards. And I gotta say, the Dutch team would make it's like, please, actually just replace the Orioles. No one will notice. And Brown gets his first hit as he singles up the middle. If you know anything about baseball, the Orioles are not exactly a team you want to root for. Let me just say that from personal experience.
Well, as a lifelong suffering Mets fan.
Oh boy.
I know how that feels, although this year has been quite fun. Just out of the wild card with, I think, just short of 20 games to go. So not out of it yet this year for the Mets, but...
Well, a part of me wants to say I'm sorry, but then again, you've also appeared in 2 World Series since I've been alive, as the ground ball just fouled down the first base line. Appearing in the Subway Series in 2001 and losing to the Kansas City Royals 4 years ago.
Yeah, but I remember the '86 when they won. That was I was 10 years old at the time. That was a big memory of mine.
Well, I can't remember that because I was born in '91. As that pitch is lined, and that's going to stay fair. Yes, it will. That's Lefevre with the great hit out to right, but it will only count for 1 base. So Brown moves over to second. Lefevre safe at first. So play at first, second, and third. Good option for Germany, but France don't want to go down to the mercy rule. As Lefevre ripped that one to right, Brown waited for that one to take the bounce before taking second base. So now that brings up Andy Paz. He had the home run in the third, a solo shot. Also flew out to center and popped out to shortstop. And he takes the first pitch for a strike, 0-1 the count now. Make it actually 1-1. Excuse me there. 1-1 the count on Paz. A double play would end the game here. Pitch inside now, count 2 balls and 1 strike. Actually 2 balls, no strikes.
Yeah, the French team staying alive with 1 out, 2 men on. Germany wanting to close out the game.
Well, if that ball stays in the infield, they can still do it. Here comes Tieben's 2-1, and that's 2-0 pitch, and that's taken to the outfield. Right fielder Allman underneath of that, and the throw back into the infield keeps Brown at second. So France down to their final out in this game. If they can bring Brown around from second, then we will see an 8th inning. But Tieben does not want that. Germany does not want that. The German fans in attendance just want this game to end right here, right now. So now Fred Envie, the DH, is up to the plate. 1 for 2. Came around to score. All the way back in the 2nd inning, back when France put up 3. That may seem like a lot, but that's just a whimper compared to Germany putting up 9 in the 2nd inning. 0-1 pitch, and that's lifted to the left side. That's going to drift into foul territory, and the shortstop, Schmidt, gets over there in time for the out, and that is the final out of the game. Germany takes the win 14-4, and they will be playing in the 5th place game tomorrow against the Czech Republic. Winner of that going to the Olympic qualifying tournament in Italy in just a few days.
Nice athletic play by here we see the replay here. Went a long way making that catch over his shoulder.
Yeah, that was just a great job by Schmidt saying, I got it. He had the confidence, he had the speed, and he got there right on time. And Germany takes a 14-4 win over France. Once again, this was the game that decided the Czechs' opponent for the 5th place game, which will take place right here tomorrow at 11 a.m. Winner once again going to the Olympic qualifying tournament. But before that, we still got some semifinal action coming up for you later today. In just over an hour, we're going to have the Netherlands versus Spain. That is the first semifinal. And then at 7 p.m., it will be Israel versus Italy in the other semifinal. All 4 of those teams already qualifying for next week's tournament. So be sure to stick around. Still got a lot of great baseball coming your way today and tomorrow. But for Ole Tengen Jr., I'm Kai Dombach. Thank you for joining us for this Germany-France game. One last time before we sign off. Germany 14, France 4 through 7 innings. Thank you for tuning in, and be sure to have some fun for the semifinals coming your way in just an hour. Take care, everybody. Be excellent to each other.
Have a nice afternoon, everybody.
Steve Janssen, head coach of the German team, after a tough night yesterday evening, how difficult was it to motivate your team this morning?
Well, actually, I think the boys did great. The anger and the frustration there was from yesterday, we turned that into a positive vibe this morning. It was very hard for the boys, having like about 5 hours of sleep. So yeah, we took that on a positive note, and the guys played same like yesterday. They played like warriors.
But personally, you're still disappointed about yesterday evening, right? I mean, the loss at the end.
Well, I mean, obviously you're lost because of that, but at the end of the road, we'll still have everything in our own hands. But at the end of the road, it's all about coming down to one game tomorrow, and we still have everything in our own hands. We're gonna defend it with everything we have, and it's up to the Czechs to come and get it. But we're not gonna give it to them.
You're playing the Czech Republic again, so and you lost the game in the preliminary round. What are your expectations for tomorrow?
Well, first of all, every time you play the Czechs, you know it's going to be a difficult game. They have a good ball club. They always play with their heart, and that's what we have to do tomorrow too to be successful.
So you have all your important pitchers fresh?
Well, I mean, we have pitchers fresh, yeah, and everybody up till now, everybody is important. So everybody is available for tomorrow, and we'll see where we go from there.
So running for 5th place, and this is still the goal, right?
Absolutely. It was a goal when we started, and it's still the same goal today.
Good luck for that. Thank you, Steve.